The Gfinity Elite Series trophy and £25,000 were on the line in London last night as the Gfinity Arena hosted the first ever Elite Series FIFA 18 Grand Finals. Roma FNATIC came out on top, thanks to Espert's players Conran Ranners Tobin and Simon Zimnisted, who came through a nail-biting semi-final against Team Envy and bested an Ireland in the grand final last night. Many had pegged an Ireland as the eventual winners last night due to the calibre of their players, Sean Shell's Springet and world champion Spencer Gorilla Ealing. Related articles previous won the next and one Griezmann did take the L celebration at Arsenal. FIFA 18 Pro and Ireland Schultz is on a personal road to share this article. However, in a move labelled as questionable by many, Gorilla stepped aside to allow substitute player Tarsel Tausruschen a chance at glory. The winner of the Elite Series also gets a spot in the Global Series playoffs, which feed into the FIFA World Cup later this year. Reigning world champion Gorilla had already qualified, so allowed Tars the chance of qualifying as well. Tars is a good player too though, and you can't take anything away from the FNATIC players, who ended up winning fairly comfortably 7-4 on aggregate across Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The final was a good one, but was arguably eclipsed in excitement by FNATIC's semi-final against Team Envy. What started as a fairly cagey affair turned into all-action excitement. It was Ranners against Marvin Arrow Robert in the first leg, which ended 1-0 to Envy after a late first half goal, meaning Zim had it all to do in the second leg. With his job done and the result out of his hands, Ranners was at the back of the arena behind the audience, pacing around, barely able to look at the action, throwing his arms up when Zim got a chance, and covering his face when Azvogel had the ball. Zim got a goal back early on in the second leg, making it 1-1 on aggregate. However, a late goal in the second half from Envy's Philip Azvogel Sherman looked to put FNATIC to bed. Unbelievably though, Zim kicked off and managed to keep the ball, slowly pushing forward deep into injury time. The referee let play on, and after a bit of penalty area pinball, the ball ended up in the back of the net to force extra time. After more goals in extra time, the game went to some tense penalties, where Zim was able to best his opponent after Azvogel missed 3 out of 4. In the final against Ireland, Ranners took an early lead against Tars, and there was another flurry of late goals as the first game ended 3-2. There were plenty of goals in the match between Zim and Shells too, with FNATIC going 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go. Shells did manage to start a comeback, but it was too late, with the game ending 4-2. "I'm so hyped that the team we won tonight," said FNATIC manager Colin Johnson. "The lads have been putting in so much work together, and the fact that it's paid off like this is incredible." The Gfinity Elite Series has been a tough competition, and the team format and scoring system tested us in new ways. To know you've beaten some of the best players in the world, you can't replicate that feeling. We now look forward to competing in the FIFA 18 World Cup this summer. The FNATIC players will be happy with their win, although there may be some mixed emotions from Zim, who said he would get his hair cut in the style of Ronaldo from the 2002 World Cup. Related articles: previous one, the next Antoine Griezmann did the take the L celebration at Arsenal. FIFA 18 Pro annihilate Schultz is on a personal road too. Share this article. Share.